Alrighty, I got it said it's setting up, it says streaming live now. Got it. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Dobbs Elementary Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I'm pleased to call this meeting of the Go Team to order. Our first order of business is to call roll. So the secretary will now take the roll.
Yes, good afternoon. As I call your name, please say present. Tiffany Reagan.
Present.
Brianna Spence.
Present.
Bernadine Connor.
Present.
Santana Hardy. Erica Hopkins.
Present.
Alexis Opodole. Cindy Adams. Jeremy Crane.
Present.
Jennifer James.
Present.
Yes, we have a quorum.
Okay, great. We do have a quorum. So our first order of business is to approve the agenda. Has everyone had a moment to review the agenda? Are there any changes that need to be made? Okay, well, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve agenda as printed.
A second?
Second.
I second.
Can we make sure there's some background noise and this is being recorded? I'm not sure. Everybody's muted. I know Ms. Spence is not, and I just want to make sure it sounds like a cartoon or something. Okay.
Yeah, that was Luke Jordan. All right, so we've had a motion. It's been second. Can all of those in favor please say aye of approving the agenda?
Aye.
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 All opposed, say nay or raise your hand. All right, so the agenda has been passed as written. So now we will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The meeting minutes were provided to you. Are there any corrections? Okay, hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last meeting?
Motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
A second?
I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. Shelburne, you got the count?
Yes.
Okay. All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? All right, great. Our meeting minutes have been approved from last meeting. So our first action item is to review and update the strategic plan, but we did that already, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Are you looking at the agenda she sent that was sent today or that was sent?
So I'm looking at my script.
Oh, okay.
And see, we've already, the two things that they had on the agenda, we have already discussed those things, so we didn't need to discuss those.
Right. The strategic plan and the priorities. We've done that.
Right, and I'll review them later on. If you see on the principal report, it'll be a part of my budget allocation, and I kind of, because we of everybody, because I use the guidelines because they send out the templates late and templates from last year, just to kind of keep myself abreast. So we're actually ahead of the Go team. So, well, the district. So we've done some of the things that they're saying to do now. We've already done them, but I will review the strategic plan, and that's on the agenda.
Okay. Whatever's next on the agenda, we can go to that.
That's
Because I don't have my agenda in front of me.
okay. So, we do have the discussion items, which is to review and update the meeting calendar. So it's the development process. So it's two things, and that's only if necessary. And that's if my budget meeting with my associate superintendent was out of alignment with what the Go team needed, and I checked and the dates are okay. So we don't need to change anything for the calendar. I think what we needed to have before my meeting with the associates, like a day or two before that. So we're in alignment with what's needed. So I did check that. And so I'll go ahead. The next thing is the budget allocation presentation, just to tell you all, to discuss what's alignment with the budget. So give me a second and I will share my screen. If you all could give me a thumbs up. If you can see. Okay, I see a couple of thumbs up. All right, so I'll go ahead and get started. All righty, here is our budget development process. They'll walk you through some things. And I think there's one error on here that the district had on here, but I'll make sure we have that situated. And I will contact them because I just saw it today. All right. All right, our norms. This is a meeting of the Go team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. We'll follow the agenda, notice to the public, and stay on task. We invite and welcome contributions of every other member and listen to each other, or every member and listen to each other. And we will respect all ideas and assume good intentions. So it says our strategic plan, and that's actually on this presentation. It's your roadmap, your role, your direction, the priorities, your vision, your present, and your future. We've reviewed data, but I'll review some more as well. And I will review the strategic plan, and we will discuss. We are actually on step 3. This is where the error was, because we can't make any budget choices yet because I don't have any choices to present. We are still working that out. And actually you'll see it aligned with the other side. So this is the error that I was discussing. And we are actually on step 3, the budget parameters. So as you can see, they fixed it on this slide because you see where it aligns with step 3. So right here, step 1, review and update the strategic plan and priorities by the end of the fall semester. And we actually did that. The principals workshop, I attended that. So now we are here where I am presenting the allocations to you. And we have to do that anytime between January 17th and early February. So today is the 24th. So we are on target with this timeline. And then as you can see, we will have to meet again. I have to meet with my associate. Then I have to come back to you all with the choices and all of that. And then I have to talk about do staffing conferences and then come back and we approve the final budget. But by here, we'll pretty much kind of, that's when you all will have the input with the budget choices that they actually had on the other slide, to have some input of options once we see what we're working with. I mean, I know what we're working with, but I'll explain it. It's because it's going to be a little difficult, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. All right. So the budget allocation meeting. The first Go team meeting is when the principal will provide an overview of the budget allocation for Go team members and the general public. Why this meeting provides an opportunity for the principal and the Go team to ensure alignment on the school's key strategic priorities, gain a deeper understanding of the budget allocation, and provide input to drive the direction of the draft budget. So that's what I have to work on, is a draft budget. Because we, of course, just got it, last week? Yeah, 1 month? Yeah, the 17th, somewhere in there. And so I'll be working on that between now and when I meet with my associate superintendent. All right, so we've done this already with the strategic priorities, design the, well, this is my role, so you'll know what happens. The principal designs the budget and proposes operational changes that can raise students' achievement, flesh out the strategies, implement and manage them at the school level, focus on day-to-day operations, serve as the expert on the school, hire quality instructional and support personnel. The Go team's role is to focus on the big picture. Remember, we're focusing on positions and resources. We are not focusing on people. Ensure that the budget is aligned to the school's mission and vision, and that the resources are allocated to support key strategic priorities. Are there any questions before I move on?
No.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I think I went too far. Wait a minute. Let me try to start this over. All right, let me get another thumbs up. Let's see. Can y'all see that? Thumbs up? Okay, got it. All right. These are the strategic priorities that were presented before. And we talked about literacy, attendance. These are not the ones that we rank now. I'll get to that one in a second, just to give you an idea what the priorities were. Increase staff capacity in literacy and instruction, increase capacity in data analysis and usage for instruction and decision making, and increase STEM integration. So these are the same ones. So when we discussed that, we had a discussion and we re-ranked our priorities, and they will go on the actual document, but I wanted to make sure that this is what everybody voted on. And so what I tried to do was make it easier to understand. So literacy, the focus on literacy, because that's a district priority, it's also the board goal. We kept that the same. So this is the previous one, and this is my topics look like they got formatted wrong, because this is supposed to say previous priorities to the left right here, and right here is supposed to say approved priorities. Are y'all with me so far? Okay, but you see my topics got shifted, so my apologies. That happened. Anyway, number 2, initially we talked about, remember, attendance was number 2 priority, and we changed that because we had done well in attendance. You all approved that to go to number 5. So the yellow goes with the yellow. The previous priority was building staff capacity with literacy and instruction. We moved that to 2. Staff capacity and data analysis and instructional decision making was initially number 4. We moved that up to 3. And then STEM integration was 5, and we moved that up to 4 and made attendance last. So these are the ones to the right are the Go team approved priorities. Is everybody clear?
Yes.
All right, which is the same from the previous try. I just try to make it a little more reader friendly because it has so much going on, but I wanted to make sure that you do know what we approved is documented. Okay. All right, so these are just some of those. And so the plans are, these are the parameters. So with literacy proficiency, and of course, math, and I can add that on the priorities, and you all can give me input on that. Basically is the rationale is to support tier 1 and small group instruction, because right now we know that we have several students that are at various levels, and we need to make sure we are heavy in the district, not just at Dobbs, on small group instruction. Because although we have the kids have data, everybody has different needs. And so initially, that's what we were doing and trying to hire different supports for that to meet that need. And so we need to still continue that because although we have made gains, we still need some work and there work to be done in those areas. With the increased staff capacity, we have to maintain, and you'll see why once I show you the budget. My goal is to maintain the number of supporting teachers in the planning, in planning and instruction, support staff and support teachers in planning and instruction. You'll see we have a decrease. And so I can't increase anything. I want to try to maintain everything, but we're going to see about that too. So also here, increased staff and capacity and data analysis and usage for instructional decision making. The rationale, there's a need for enhanced teacher support to be able to assist teachers with data analysis that will impact student learning. So we still want to invest in our staff. We still want to make sure we invest in our students. So more so than increases, we want to maintain, and that should be maintained. So that was the priority, the rationale we have to maintain, so we can't increase, although we have that in our priority. Utilize data to meet the individual needs of the students, ensure that students are receiving maximized opportunities for achievement and remediation daily, and with the absenteeism, monitor communication to parents of students chronically absent. Absent students affect the CCRPI score, and I'm going to actually show you the CCRPI scores that adversely impact achievement. So I'm going to, I think I'm ready for that part. Yes, we're on to the budget summary piece. Before I move forward, do you all have any questions?
I did. Back to the increased staff capacity. When you said that you had wanted to maintain the support people, is that the coaches as support people or the coaches and the
support
parents?
Anything anybody touches, so support. Paras, anybody that's not a homeroom class teacher, paraprofessionals, outside of special ed, because special ed comes in a different budget. Paraprofessionals, counselor, coaches, all of that.
Okay.
Anything that's not a homeroom teacher, and special ed in a separate budget.
Right. Okay.
Some of the teachers and paras that is. Got it? Okay. All right. So this is the executive summary. This budget represents an investment plan for our school students, employees, and the community as a whole. The budget recommendations are tied directly to the school's strategic vision and direction. The proposed budget for the general operations of the school are reflected at $5,939,166. This investment plan for FY24 accommodates a student population that is projected to be at 280. It should say that's another area. It should be 25. But this is the template that I was given, so my apologies. It should say 25. It's projected to be at 285, which is a decrease of 33 students. Oh, they missed it all the way up, huh? Oh, yes, no, for FY20. Anyway, it's projected at a decrease of 33 students. I'm not sure what they got going on with the years. All right, so here we go. This is our FY25, which is 24-25. As you can see, the projected enrollment is 285. We are down 33. And so I'm going to show you a couple. They gave us something different, so I can show you the change from this year to last year. As you can see, you have 285, which is your count, and your weight of per pupil, the base per pupil. But if you can see how these numbers change, each grade level has a different weight. So if the weight is different, the per pupil may be different per grade. Does that make sense? Okay, just so you know. So if you wonder why kindergarten might be different from different ones, based on the number of children there, based on the weight that they are allotted, they have a different per pupil allocation. So that's what you see there. And these are our projections for K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have fairly small class sizes now. So, so yeah, we got to make sure we are actually losing some money. But I'll get to that part too, because based on this, the numbers are based on what we have lost. Poverty allocation here. And I'm going to show you all the changes so it'll make a little bit more sense. EIP is basically how we tag them in EIP in the classes. There's a formula that the state provides. Our EIP lead makes sure that we have the students take the appropriate assessment, which is the MAP, and based on the formulas and what they have scored, receive the services that's needed. We do have quite a few EIP students. As you can see, 132. And so this is the weight for that, and that's the cost for that. And so we earn teachers that are under EIP that help support that. Special education, we have 35 there. We earn, the weight is a 0.05 and so forth. The gifted, you have here, the supplement here. So all of these things, and these are the numbers of children. And we have a small school supplement for having a number under, I want to say it's under 400. And that's what these are the allocations that based on all the formulas. And so the total student, the SSF allocation for a student per pupil, that's what that number is here. So additional earnings, everyone, ma'am.
Are these projected numbers? The number of students in each grade level and gifted and all of that EIP?
Those are projections. We get those every and they base their budget off of that.
The projections. Okay.
Correct. So quite naturally, if we are down, that means the budget goes down. And last year we were not. I'll show you last year's in a second. Let me not jump ahead of myself. Okay. So these are our signature funds because, and we'll talk about, and we are going to go ahead. I'm going to give a pre-congratulatory note that we are not on the state improvement list because we did well. So y'all can give, I don't know if y'all got clap emojis in the thing, but we are off the list. However, we still receive support. So we have still $500,000 for a turnaround, but we want to make sure we sustain some things. So there are some things that we'll have to keep. Title I funds, Title I holdback. That's just a number everybody gets. We look like we're losing some money, and that's probably has to do with enrollment as well. Family engagement is a small percentage. And they put in there for field trips. And not all of these are district allocations, not Ms. Reagan. And district funded stipends. This takes care of like our lead campus mentor, grade level chairs, all of those things. And flex is something that's new, and you'll see that on the change template. So additional earnings is here, and the total allocation is that's where we come up with the number that we had at the top. Okay. So I'm going to close out of this because the screen was too large for me to put it on this slide. So I'm going to show you the changes from last year to this year. So give me 1 second. It was helpful because it made sense for principals much better when they showed this to us. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see this document? Yes? Okay. So here is this is our upcoming year, 25. This was last year. Y'all see that? This is the difference. Last year, is here. We had 318 students. It was $19,634 per pupil. This year, we've lost students, and the per pupil actually went up. So we earned this number here versus what we had last year. Y'all see that? Which is a significant amount of money. So I'm just gonna let you all look at this for a second, but I do wanna bring to your attention some changes. The whole district had some changes with the weight. If you look at the poverty, last year it was 0.5. It lessened to 0.47. As you can see, you see how the 0.05 here went down to 0.03. With the gifted supplement, that actually went up, but we don't have any earnings right there. And then here we have 0.70, and this actually went up. It was 46,000 last year. It's 53 now. With the small school supplement, it actually, everybody's went down as well. It was 0.30, now it's 0.25. And capacity, why they had that there, I don't know, but there's no earnings there. Let me move up a little bit. As you can see, last year we earned 5 for turnaround, 565, and this is signature programs. Because everybody has to have a signature program, whether it's International Baccalaureate or STEM. And of course, you all know we are a STEM school, so everybody has to have that. But this is the fees for signature programs for last year, and this is for this year. That's just a difference of about $2,000 or so. Turnaround, of course, because we got off the list, we had to lose some money, but they don't want to take all of it because they want to help sustain some of it. So we lost some money there. Most of our money that we are losing is coming from enrollment, and 65,000 of this, which is almost $100,000. But Title I has decreased, as you can see. All of this is numbers based on enrollment. It was 240. Here we have 199. That's almost another $39,000. And this is the one I do need to find out more about. The Title I holdback, we've lost money there, which was 0 last year, and I believe because we earned so much last year. Family engagement, we have 8,000. Looks like that went up. And then transportation went down and the district stipend is about this, is the same. Again, the flex is new. This is something they put in everyone's budget. And again, this came from the APS, the budget department, so that we could have it. And then FTE allotments from 6.65 to, and that's people, 15.45 in those areas. And these are the differences on this side. This is just a change. Just to kind of show you all that. So again, like I said, the number of decrease in students is really what's going to affect the numbers, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to go back to my other slide while I'm moving forward. And I will say, I don't have that one slide on here, but approximately when you see all those losses, basically on our budget, it's approximately, all of that adds up to approximately $692,000 in the red. 692, I'm saying approximately. It's not, these are the slides they asked us to show, but just so with all the negatives and I'm going back and forth, that's just to give you an idea of we're losing a lot of money. And I'm trying my very, very best to make sure that we sustain as much as we can. Let me share the screen. I'm going back to the original slide. So this was the next slide. Hold on, it's not, I don't think it's coming yet. Okay, it should be there. Y'all see it? All right, so this is what I gave you the allocation. Again, this is what's next. One-on-one discussions, cluster planning, program manager discussions and approval come back to you all before my staffing conference, and then I have a staffing conference. And then in March, we come back again. So you all will be working with the budget at least 2 more meetings. Because what's happening now is I have to look at all this money that we lost and look at the priorities and make sure we have what we need. But as you do know, $690-something thousand, I'm gonna have to cut some people. I don't know who, how, what, or what have you, but I mean, which is why, so just for the Go team, the staff members know I've done intent surveys, so I want to start there. And so those people who I know are leaving, I can go ahead and take them out of budget. And just so you know, I don't know if some of you all who were on the Go team on last year know that a teacher in the budget used to cost about $90,000. And when I say that, that's the teacher's salary plus their benefits. So a starting teacher is somewhere, you know, let's hypothetically say it's $50,000, right? They add that in there. It used to be $40,000, like some benefits. So now a teacher, to purchase a teacher out of our budget is $105 because everybody got raises. We're talking about salary plus benefits. So I do have 2 people. You know, so I'm starting there with where people, if they want to leave. And so I'll be able to present more because I'm still trying to mesh some things. I still have some people seeking promotion. So that may clear, that will be some other budget. So, you know, pieces out of the budget. So just so you know, those are some areas where we're starting. I will say everybody is wanting to stay, which is a good thing. But it's not good when you gotta, it's not good when you have to mess with people's livelihoods. So I want to do the very best that I can to make sure, because I value all of my employees. And this is not part of the Go team, but I just want to make sure I put that out. All right, so any questions? Ms. Spence, do you want to say the part about informational items, or do you want me to go on? Because that's still all me.
We will now move to information items. First is our principal's report.
Just trying to help you out, you know, but I want to make sure we got it. And some of the staff may have seen some of this. This is where I'm going to review the map data, writing data. Remember the other meetings, we hadn't had it yet. We were still like doing makeups and stuff like that. And then at least for the whole group. And then I have not shared the CCRPI with everyone, so I'll share that as well. And I'll try to be as quickly and as thorough as possible. Let me share my screen again. All right. Just let me know, thumbs up when you all can see. All right. All righty. Let's see if I can move the screen. All right, so here's our winter map data. And just so you know, this is a quick overview. And this is basically just from the South Atlanta cluster. So what I did was just wanted to see where we were amongst our cluster. And these are our cluster schools. I have stars by Dobbs. This is reading, and this is math. And as you can see, we always want to decrease the what, guys? Red, right? And increase the green. So if you can look right here from fall to winter, which is typically, it just so not to be alarmed, everyone, it's typically around where everybody scores in the winter map. For some reason, kids are getting acclimated and all of that. But we are still looking like we're faring. If you just kind of look at the colors, we're faring not too bad against our counterparts, although we all have red. And we went up a little bit based, upon our counterparts, we're not doing too bad. We are trying to increase the yellow. So if you look at that, 40% we have more in that area than the cluster. And here, and 4% here, we're not doing too bad. Now we got to work on this proficiency because we want to be higher in green than anybody. This is Dodge right here. We're at 11%. And so we were at 10 in the fall. So we are looking really, really heavily for reading to make sure we make those gains. But we do want to decrease this. We're doing good decreasing the red and the developing, but we got to make sure we're here. The math, you can see a quick glance, just as a glance against the cluster. You can see where we are from fall to winter. These are our children. We did better in developing, but we working on, this is as a school, not by our grade, okay? So I'll show you grades in a second. All right, so our second grade, here, from fall to winter, we went up in proficiency. I'm sorry, distinguished, but down in proficiency. But and so we're actually while I'm talking, I'm taking some differentiated steps. So those teachers that may have concerns are having individualized tasks to complete, just to kind of just like we do the kids, we differentiate their information. So for instance, if a teacher made great growth on the MAP assessment, they won't have the same task as somebody who got less than 50%. So we want to make sure that we are differentiating that. This is third grade. And again, all this is reading here. And so third grade, we have some work to do in all areas, as you can see. Fourth grade, and I'm showing you the tested grades just by the way, for those who did not know. This is reading, kind of stagnant here. But one thing we can see is reading is increasing in the green. And we said above all, we need that green to go up, because when we take the milestone, we get our points for yellow and green, okay? But we want to make sure that's up. And fifth grade, we have some work to do too, and we're doing some of the same things for reading as well. For math, and we take the map again in March, and we are hopefully with all of our interventions with the students and the teachers, we will definitely see some gains. And like I said, everybody in the cluster in the winter, or even across the district, the winter time for some reason is just a little wonky. I don't know whether they just getting acclimated or whatever, but not to make excuses, but this is the data. Third grade math, we got to work on keeping the proficiency up, but they are developing some more. But we need to push the red in a different direction. Fourth and fifth grade. All right, this is right score. So we are getting ready they are actually in the process, we are in the process of scheduling a writing academy after school, because we need some help in writing. We've had our professional development with teachers just to kind of talk about areas where we need to do better, and most of it is ideas. So right now we have a group of people working together along with Dr. Champion to make sure we have a writing tutorial that will be up and coming, writing tutorials after school, and then working with teachers to integrate writing across the curriculum. So we discussed that as well. And so the goal is to have a 7 in all areas. There's a total score, and to have a 4 here. So we have some work to do because we need to get to a point. So these are the areas where we are working on in classrooms. That's third grade. This is fourth grade. 0.38 out of 7, which we need to have at least a point. But teachers already have this, which we're already in get better, faster mode. This is fifth grade. And so they at least have a point, but everybody has to do better with ideas. and getting pen to paper and working on these areas down here, which is what we'll be focused on, like transitions, focus and sentence formation, all of those things. But as you can see, punctuation and usage don't weigh as much as the other things. So it's really all of this side where the focus will need to be, which is developing ideas, organization, and making the paper coherent and make sense. Okay. Moving on to CCRPI, this is based on 2023's GMAS data, which got us off the list, guys. So we want to, I'm very happy. Content mastery is basically where students are achieving at the level necessary to be prepared for the next grade level. This includes achievement scores and ELA, math, science, and social studies on the milestones. This is again, and this is GAA, those students like in special education that take GAA. And so we actually went up 3.9 points in content mastery. So we are very proud of that. And closing the gaps. Closing the gaps sets the expectations of all students in subgroups and all student subgroups make improvements in achievement rates. This component is based on CCRPR targets, academic achievement, which is represent, they're usually like red and green flags. Well, we did an absolute job, great job on that as a school. So this is what helped us get off the list as well. We have a 90.9. And if you see the district, they got an 86. We scored better in closing the gaps than the district and the state. So I'm really, really excited about that. My only thing is that we gotta stay on the course because we don't want it to go down. So kudos. That's the closing the gap. Are there any questions? Because I have a few more to do. All right, I'm gonna keep going. So we have a section in CCRPI called progress. Progress measures how much growth students demonstrate in ELA and math and how well the English language learners progress towards English language proficiency. The English language arts and math indicators utilize student growth, which is SGPs, to measure how much growth students demonstrated relative to academically similar students on the Georgia milestones. So this is comparing us to other students, okay? And a categorical growth for students on the GAA as well. English language proficiency measures whether students are improving in a performance band or moving up another performance band, thus moving towards E. So these have to do with some of our subgroups. So as you can see, we did a great job on growth. With progress, we got a 97.2. So although some of our proficient areas we are growing children, so which is why I'm constantly talking about grow, which I'm constantly challenging everybody to in the building to have conversations with their scholars. As you can see, again, we are outperforming the district. Well, we did outperform the district on progress. The district average was an 89.9 and the state was an 85.8. And Dobbs got a 97.2, so I'm excited about that. And this is what's posted. If you want to see these, also it's posted on the Georgia DOE website. So this is just a little chart that Ms. Reagan did just to kind of show you all just some change over time. So the topics are, this was pre-pandemic before Ms. Reagan and Dr. McIntyre, which is the AP. This is before us, this is 2019. Before us, this is where we came, this is after the pandemic. So you'll see 20 and 21 are not here. 2020, of course, we went out for COVID in March. 21, when we came back, we didn't have a test. So as you can see, before we started, so the CCRPI is based on the prior 3 years before this one. So that's 1, 2, 3. So CCRPI it's calculated 2022, 2019, I was not here. 2018, I wasn't here. No problem though, because we still got to make sure our babies are okay. This is where we were though. Content mastery, we had a 35.3. Pre-pandemic, then we went up, it went up to a 35.5. After the pandemic, we went back down, but we're slowly trying to make it back up. Because you know everybody had learning loss after the pandemic, right? That's at 2020, 21. Well, we're getting it back together. So closing the gaps in 2018, 75. Then in 2019, it went all the way down to 35.7. Again, the state did not measure closing the gaps post-pandemic, but they did this year. And that's what you saw on the CCRPI page. The progress was a 92.3 in 2018. It dropped to 79.3 in 2019. They did not, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. Let's see. There we go. Slide. Okay, where was I? Progress. Okay, and here, 97.2. These are the things that you saw on the CCRPI slide. Then we have readiness. 2018, there was 68.2. 2019, it went up slightly. This is after the pandemic. It went down tremendously for readiness. And this year, they didn't count readiness. As you can, this is all what they counted, and that's what we have all green to calculate that. And then they did not do an overall score this year and last year, or the 23 and 20. They only did that then, so you can see that there. So that's just to give you an idea of the historical data, where we came from, how we got there, why it's there, and all of that. So, on to my announcement. Before I do announcement, do you have any questions? Okay, so really quickly, right now after this meeting, I have to go run into the cafeteria because we are currently having a Title I Family Engagement Bingo Night, and the cluster is here. All of the South Atlanta cluster schools are here, so I'm going to go run in there. I'm going to have a principal celebration for those students that made the highest MAP growth on January 26th. We already had our MAP growth party last week for those scholars that met their growth goals. And we have academic family engagement night where students will be talking about their data to their parents on next week, which is February 1st. The food pantry is coming up on the 7th. We have the science fair on the 13th. Our awesome partners, Reading Buddies, will be here on the 28th. And we have our annual Black History program on March 1st. And we have a town hall meeting on March 1st as well. So.
That's it, Ms. Reagan?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to remind all of the Go Team members to complete their budget training on the Ellis platform. Because that needs to be done before we get to talking about the actual budget next month and the meeting after that. If you need any assistance with the platform, you can contact the Go Team office. Are there any additional announcements, members? Did we have anybody sign up for public comment, Ms. Yarbrough?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So we've reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion approved.
Second that motion.
All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. All opposed, please raise your hand or say nay. Thank you so much. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you. When is our next meeting, Ms. Yarbrough?
Let me look on my calendar.
We can people logging. You can tell me in a minute.
Our next meeting is February 28th.
Got it. Okay. So we'll have 2 budgets. Okay, got it. All right, I have work to do. Got it. Thank you guys.
Bye.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.